Yeah, I'll drive up in my car, buy myself a brand new guitar. I'll put on my shades and I'll be gone. Yeah, I'll find me a bar and listen to my favorite song. And I make love to the blues, yeah, all night long. 'Cause I'm on the road, I'm searching for a piece of my soul. Trying to stay so damn warm in a world so cold. 'Cause love ain't the problem when the music is free, yeah. I'll stay on the road till it all finds me. I mean to ask you now, but you don't know I exist.
What do I say about my childhood? As a kid, I wanted to be a lot of things. So I wanted to be a pilot at one point in time. I wanted to be a chef. I wanted to work at a Barbie store also. So yeah, and I used to sing in school, and I used to sing in the choir and all of that stuff. And now I'm actually a musician and a clinical psychologist. So it's been a long ride. I had started driving. I was 17 when I was diagnosed, so I was driving around that time, and I used to get a really sharp pain on my right thigh. And at that point in time, I thought it's probably because of driving or some sort of physical exercise. I mean, nobody would actually go out and think, oh, you have cancer. So we went to get the sonogram, and we found out that I was carrying a tumor so big that it didn't even fit in the screen. We went to the clinic, and from then on, it was just next day I was in the hospital, and just everything just took off. It just took off for a whole year. Like, I wasn't like, oh my god, I have cancer, what am I going to do now, am I going to die? So it wasn't like that for me. For me, it was more like, I have this and now I need to fight it. So that was my entire aim throughout it. So I've had about 8 surgeries and 3 cycles of chemo. Yeah, which has gone on for a year. It is painful, and it's painful not only physically but mentally as well. So at that point I decided that, not even decided, I knew that I have to eradicate this thing. So that is just, it was like this single focus that I had throughout the treatment. So it was painful, it was a mental and physical battering, but I'd always think that, at the end of this, I'm going to get better. So every time I was poked with the needle, I'd be like, okay, the needle's going in, this pain is going to be temporary, I'm going to get better after this. My family has been a very, very strong source of support, and basically it's my family kept the positive attitude around me. They never did the whole why her, or why does she have cancer. They never did the crying around me. They kept a very, very positive attitude. And by family, I don't mean just my parents, I mean my entire family. There were people who would say stupid things like, oh, she has cancer, don't go next to her. And what surprises me is these are well educated, well read people saying things like, don't go next to a cancer patient because you'll get cancer. So yeah, there are always those one or two who will never get the depth and the gravity of what a cancer patient goes through. But it's not their fault. Heart of Life was my chemo song. Yeah, so I was in the ICCU and it was actually the first time I had listened to that song. And I was in the ICCU because right after my first chemotherapy, which went very badly, I was again at that point where doctors were like, no hope. And I was just sitting there and I had the iPod and that song came on and I listened to the lyrics and I was like, wow, this song is so beautiful. And that kind of became the song for the moment. After I got better, I actually met one of my bandmates and he was like, let's jam and blah 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 blah. I mean, it's music, I don't want to take it up seriously. But then at the same time I thought that I've probably been given a second chance to do some things that I would have never thought of doing. So that's the point when I decided that, okay, you know what, let me just give it a shot, let's see where it goes. After being thrown into something like this and then being able to get out of it and realizing that, okay, now I must do something with my life. That's what actually got me into giving music and clinical psychology a thought. Some of my songs are influenced by my experience, and some of the other songs have been influenced by some of the patients that I have been with. So yeah, I guess music and psychology are just going hand in hand for me at the moment. Yeah. One of the newer songs that I've been writing and the band has been working on it's called Highland Garden. So that song talks about, trying to shift your focus from the bad parts of life to the good parts of life. And maybe at that point you'll realize that the good is greater than all the bad things that are happening around you. String for me. I don't wanna leave just yet, 'cause there's a whole damn world I gotta see. I didn't know what I wanted to do exactly before I was diagnosed, but after I was diagnosed, I thought I want to do something that's going to help me help those who are going through something as similar as cancer. So that's the reason why I took up clinical psychology, and now I'm actually looking to work with a niche, as in certain cancer patients. So for me, it's changed a lot personally because I feel like I am a completely different person from who I was before I fell ill. So first of all, I didn't know I could be this headstrong, and now I'm absolutely headstrong. And it's almost like nothing can get in my path as of now. And emotionally, it's made me very strong. It's made me stronger. It's made me able to deal with emotions more maturely. It's almost like in that 1 year, I grew up. Makes us human is that our pain can set us free. So go ahead.
and save that last drink for me. I don't wanna leave just yet, 'cause there's a whole damn world I gotta see. And yes, I am happy, and yes, I am strong, but I know this ain't over yet. Oh, baby, I won't be gone long. No, I won't be gone.